by now, I'm sure most, if not all of you, are aware that Christopher Landon is going to be the director for the upcoming Scream 7. I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong, I have some reservations, right? Because Christopher Landon, all of his movies have been very Scream-esque, right? A horror film, slasher type film. Think of like Happy Death Day, Freaky, but they tend to lean more on the comedic side of things, where this version of Scream specifically, right, has been really sort of darker. Right, there are like comedic moments and some meta commentary, but they're not as prevalent as they have been in past Scream films. And I really like that direction. I really like the darker tones that we got in Scream 5 and 6, and I hope that still maintains. Now, obviously, it's the same writers, so there should be that level of consistency, but the directorial side is definitely something like, is he going to kind of translate the way, or are there going to be real differences? And depending on what those differences are, those could make or break a film, right? Especially if people have kind of been acclimated to a specific way, and now you kind of change that drastically, it could impact the film. But regardless, I'm expecting Scream 7 to have success. I'm expecting it to do well, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what does Christopher Landon's version of Scream look like. But as we saw with Radio Silence, they usually will tend to kind of make things comfortable for the director, right? Have them work with people that they're familiar with, allow them to kind of have people around them that are kind of their people. And we saw that with Radio Silence, right? And now there are rumors circulating that Christopher Landon may end up getting somebody that he is very familiar with. And based on reports, Jessica Roth, actress who brought Tree to life on Happy Death Day, could be part of the cast of Scream 7, as rumors have started that Christopher Landon, new director of both films, joked a bit when questioned if he would be working on a new project with Jessica. Now, again, this isn't like full confirmation, but it makes a lot of sense, right? She is somebody that is familiar with the horror space, that was in Happy Death Day 2. She was the lead. She was the final girl in that, and she did a great job. Like, I enjoyed those films. I enjoyed her as an actress. And you could really make an argument to have her in some role, some capacity in the upcoming Scream 7. And again, somebody that's familiar with Christopher Landon, somebody that understands his vision and the way that he operates as a director. The studio and the writers and everybody, you'd imagine, want to make him comfortable and allow him to kind of, be in an environment where he's not like the new guy coming into the frat type thing, where everyone's just kind of, doing their thing and he's kind of doing his own, right? Having some familiarity, allowing him to have that kind of bridge and relatability and connectability, even if it's in a small role. I'm not saying that you have to give Jessica all of a sudden she's going to get the lead or something like that, and they're just going to push Sam to the back burner or something. But I could see her obviously in like, an opening scene role, or maybe just like a character that is like a secondary character, or somebody that's just, in a couple scenes or something like that. But you could also have her be, one of like the main characters in the upcoming film. Maybe she dies. Maybe she's one of the characters that lives. Maybe she's Ghostface, right? Like, there's a lot of different ways that you could approach it with her, right? Have her go from being the main target, final girl in Happy Death Day, to all of a sudden she's the killer. There were talks about that with Samara Weaving, and Samara Weaving is a great example, right? Radio Silence wanted Samara Weaving to basically be Sam and play that role, but she couldn't at the time, and they were moving forward, and they always said that they would get her in a film, and they got the green light. Samara Weaving had the time. She came in, and she was the opening scene, right? But even when she was announced, there was all kinds of speculation and rumors of, she's got to be the killer. Is she going to be one of the final girls? Is she replacing Sam? Because that was the original idea. Like, what's going to happen here? Are they going to turn Sam Darkside? Are they going to kill off Sam? What's going to happen? Is Samara Weaving, does she die in the opening scene? Does she die at the end? There was so much that kind of just loomed over the casting of Samara Weaving. And now, in hindsight, we know that she was the opening scene, which many people thought, myself included. I've made several videos about her very likely being the opening scene, especially once we knew the kind of time she was on set, or had an idea of the time she was on set and stuff like that. It kind of made the most sense. Like, okay, Like, I don't think she has this huge prominent role just because she was only there, a couple weeks. But just like Radio Silence kind of got their girl, Christopher Landon could get his. And that could also be one of the things that he kind of pushes for, right? Like, hey, you let, like, Radio Silence wanted Samara Weaving, and you guys gave Radio Silence Samara Weaving. Why can't I have Jessica? Like, I want Jessica. Like, let me put her in the film and give her a role. And, it doesn't have to be anything major. It could be this, that, and the other. But give me somebody that I'm familiar with and have an understanding with and a relationship with. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. And just like Samara Weaving, I would be fully fine and pumped for Jessica. And I think you could have her on an array of roles. And I think it would add good buzz. It would add some level of excitement, especially for people that are fans of Happy Death Day, that are fans of Jessica. Kind of add that element, just like Samara Weaving, right? You saw a lot of people that were fans of, like the Babysitters, things like that. All the, Ready or Not, right? That Samara was in, that people loved. And when they made the announcement that she was going to be in Scream, people were pumped about it, right? There was probably a couple people that went and saw that movie just solely for Samara Weaving, right? And that probably could happen with Jessica. And I think that, it would be a good approach. It would generate buzz in the sense of, like, what is she going to be? What is her role going to be? How is she going to approach it, right? Is Christopher Landon going to kind of, shine the spotlight on her? Obviously, again, he's not the writer, so he's not going to be able to write the role or give her what he wants to give her. But could they give her a spot in the upcoming film as, like, hey, here you go, man. Like, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a director. Let's kind of give you, put you in a comfortable state, right? And allow Jessica. And again, like, you're gonna need several characters to have significant roles in this film regardless. I mean, obviously you have the core four that just never seem to be able to die. You have especially Chad, right? Regardless of how he gets stabbed by several Ghostface and brutally butchered, and he has superpowers. So, but you have him, you have Danny, you have Gail, right? But you got to imagine that there's going to be 3 to 5 other characters. Some that are just going to die early on, some that are going to be Ghostface, some that are going to be, characters that kind of last towards the end. And I think Jessica could fall in any of those categories, right? And I would be okay with that. I wouldn't mind her being a Ghostface, right? Like, her just kind of flipping that switch. We saw that in, like, Happy Death Day. Not, like, necessarily her throughout the whole thing being a killer, but we did see her have those moments of, like, just rage and, like, turning it on and whatnot. So, I don't want to ruin too much of the Happy Death Day films for those that haven't seen it, but like, she's shown the ability to kind of turn on the crazy, right? Which I think could work, and I think it would be a nice approach. I wouldn't against it at all, right? I would welcome it. Now, obviously, execution, story, character, the role she's going to play, all of those things are a huge factor, and whether it makes sense or not. And also timing, like, does she have other projects at the time in which they're ready to film and start doing stuff, right? Like, is there scheduling conflicts? Like, how does this go? I don't think Scream 7 is going to be it. Like, I genuinely don't. I think that they're going to probably pump out several more of these films. It's just kind of my thoughts. And especially if Christopher Landon is on board, I could see him getting at least 2 or 3 movies somewhere in that ballpark. And even if it's not this film, then it's very possible that they may get that and get the opportunity to have her in the next installment or whatever. Kind of like how Samara Weaving, they wanted in 5. They couldn't get her for 5, or just didn't make sense for 5. And they were able to kind of incorporate her in Scream 6. Because you got to remember, based on the reports and the rumors, Scream 7 is already written. So, depending on what the other characters are that are written, if Jessica can't fit into those spots, then she's probably not going to be in this movie. But if they can kind of, like, okay, like, this character, I could see her playing, but we need to fix a couple things or change a couple things, then maybe they do that just to kind of get her involved, especially if she's willing to be involved and willing to be on board. But again, if none of the characters really fit her, then I wouldn't really expect it. But anyway, again, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like the idea of Jessica being involved? What type of role would you like to see her play? Would you want her to just kind of be the opening scene, be the killer, be another piece? Maybe kind of like one of the survivors, whatever. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comment section below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, follow by the bell notification, stay up to date with all things Scream, join the wonderful community, and all of our discussions. See you all in the next one. Thank you.